Prophecy, Chapter 1, Part 2. I'll pick you up after school, sweetheart. Eli opened his daughter's door and was helping her out. Okay, Daddy. Lisa hugged him once more and followed the other students into the school. Eli watched her until she disappeared, and then he walked around the car, got back in the driver's seat. He sat there for a good 15 minutes and thought about the morning so far and how it had went before Erica left. They had to stop arguing in front of Lisa. They just had to. That thought stuck with him as he pulled out onto the road and headed home. Part 3. Erica had been at work for about 6 hours at this time, and looking at the clock just reminded her that she had 3 to 4 hours left in this office and then at some diner for the meeting before she could go home and make up with her baby girl. She thought about Eli. She might make up with him. She wasn't certain yet. She opened her desk drawer and lifted out the folder that had a tag on it with the letters PIF. PIF stood for Private Information Folder, and it sure was private indeed. This folder held all the business of every politician in this state. If she wasn't such an honest person, she might use some of this information for blackmail. She allowed that thought to float around in her mind as she leafed through the file looking for Senator J. Lawhorn. There you are. Erica pulled the section marked Pedophile, Senator J. Lawhorn, from within the folder and laid it aside by itself on her desk. She mentally reminded herself to never allow Lisa around that piece of scum. Turning back to the bulk folder, she leafed through it again, this time looking for Congressman L. Osborne. She hadn't yet heard anything ugly on him, but was sure it was just a matter of time before she did. There was a knock on her office door. Erica opened her desk drawer and slid the bulk folder back inside of it, and reaching for the Lawhorn folder, she laid it on top of the bulk file and shut the door. She locked it. "Come in," she called out to whoever had knocked. The door opened and her boss, Vincent DeVoe, walked in smiling. Vincent was, in all definitions of the word, an asshole. "Good morning, Erica. How are you doing on this fine and beautiful day?" The words seemed plastic and fake, even to the one who said them. "I'm doing great, Mr. DeVoe, and how are you?" Erica tried not to let her discomfort and dread show through her words and her plastic smile. He smiled again. "Oh, not too bad at all, if I must say so myself. I've been in touch with the Speaker of the House, Ransom Nix, already this morning." Erica raised her eyebrows. "Oh, really now? And what did he have to say?" Vincent had piqued her curiosity. "He wants us to represent him." Vincent smiled like a sneaky rat. Represent him for what? She knew it had to be a doozy for him to want to hire their company and not the cheaper ones all around the city. Vincent waved his finger back and forth as if to say, "No, no." Erica was openly confused and aware that her face showed it. Vincent smiled that rat smile again, and Erica wanted so badly to smack it right off his face, but instead she waited patiently for his explanation, knowing it was coming because he couldn't help himself. "We'll discuss it at the meeting after work, Erica." Erica felt nauseated just thinking about the meeting with him. He was always so crude and obnoxious. "Mr. DeVoe, I need to reschedule tonight's meeting, please. My daughter needs me at home right now, and after 8 to 10 hours away from her every day, I feel it's my duty as a mother to put her first tonight." Vincent looked almost shocked. "Postpone the meeting? What about our House Speaker account?" Erica looked fed up, and he could clearly see it. "Listen, if that account is so important, you have spent 15 minutes in my office blowing hot air about it and yet saying nothing. So if it's that important, tell me about it right now while you're standing here, and we can call it a day." She let that go as firm as she could. She was done kissing ass and screwing up her family life, her marriage in particular, over after-hour meetings that she knew could be handled during work hours, like her husband suggested. Vincent once again appeared truly shocked, but curbed his reply out of fear of losing his most valued employee. I see. Well, I guess I could go ahead and fill you in right now. No need in making it a longer day than need be.